Good evening. Police have laid charges in the grisly murder of Adam Kargus. The 29-year-old Sarnia man was serving a sentence for non-violent crimes at the Elgin Middlesex Detention Center when he was bludgeoned to death on Halloween. Christina Howard joins us tonight with the details. Christina.
Tara, police have laid charges against 3 inmates in relation to Kargus's death. One, his former cellmate, Anthony George, is charged with second-degree murder. Now, sources say that video surveillance shows Kargus was attacked before 9 p.m. in his cell and that his body was turned facing away from the cell's window, making it difficult for COs to see that anything had actually happened to him. The question is, why weren't Adam Kargus's cries for help heard? Sarnia's Anthony Maurice George has a long criminal history. Only 28 years old, he served time for a number of violent offenses, including robbery, assault, and forcible confinement. Serving time is part of his life. His Facebook postings make specific reference to jail. I was out for 4 hours, then arrested on breaches. Oh well, soft. I did it standing on my head. It was just a sock change, ha. His appetite for violence? Celebrated. Imagine this could be the last thing you will ever see. What? He writes. Now, he's charged with second-degree murder for the brutal beating and killing of his cellmate, Adam Kargus.
The cause of death was as a result of blunt force trauma that was sustained during an assault on October 31st, 2013. The manner of death has been determined to be a homicide.
George allegedly attacked Kargus in his cell after the two were locked in for the evening. 2 inmates, Bradley Milkey and David Cake, have been charged with being an accessory after the fact. Sources say video surveillance shows Kargus being held up to the window of his cell, increasingly becoming more beaten and bloodied. That same video surveillance shows inmates in other cells peering through their windows, cheering and actually egging on the attack. Their cries and Kargus's cries for help may have been heard had a correctional officer been in the area.
Can the minister assure us that there were enough correctional officers on duty the night of this tragic fatality?
Madeleine Mayel, the Minister of Correctional Services, could not.
The day of the incident, the EMDC capacity was 410 and there was 389 inmates in the facility.
According to ministry documents, there should have been 2 COs in the unit Kargus was killed in until 11 p.m., one for the overnight shift. Instead, several sources say there were only 2 guards overseeing 3 units, or about 150 inmates, as of 8 o'clock. Leaving 1 unit completely unmanned save for regular checks. In sum, nobody was around to hear Kargus's cries. The checks came after the assault.
These problems are systemic, and I've been warning about you to take action for 2 years now.
And while cameras and metal detectors are now in place, they haven't curbed the assaults or made it easier for COs to see problems. Kargus's body was found in the showers over an hour after he was moved from his cell. It took 3 minutes to move Kargus. The same amount of time it took a guard to move another inmate out of his cell in another part of the unit, leaving 12 cells unsupervised, out of sight from guards, but not the cameras. Now, Tara, hundreds of cameras have been put in place at EMDC over the past couple of months, but they really only capture activity in common areas like hallways, not in showers and cells where most assaults take place. They have, however, proven to be useful after the fact, helping police in this case in their investigation, acting as a tool, but not a deterrent. Tara?
Thank you very much. Christina Howard live tonight from EMDC.